My craziest drug story is when my stepfather, who was using crack, we were living in a place called Norristown in Pennsylvania. And I'm coming home from school and I see a man with a washing machine in the middle of the street pushing it on a dolly. The closer he got to me, the more clearer it came into view, and I realized it was my stepdad with our washing machine.
No, he was not.
On Cherry Street. Shout out Cherry Street. Those are from Cherry. You can't run when you got a washing machine in your hand. So he tried to, duck. But
behind the washing machine?
Behind the car. So yeah. I know where my fossil watch went. And I had stole that watch from TJ Maxx for myself. They gonna steal it from me. So that was my craziest memory of my stepfather was using, but God definitely I remember I was praying for him for a while and God delivered him. He got off of drugs. I mean, he became in church. Y'all remember this song, but he came and sang this song. I gotta clean up what I messed up.
Oh, I
Start my life. He was a deacon.
OG.
Yeah, OG deacon. And they moved, people, places, things. They had to move out of that town. They moved all the way to Maryland. And he's been clean for 25 years, but that's my craziest drug story.
That's amazing.
I got another one. I'll go third if I go more time. So somebody else go.
And I was in the house, so I was in my mom's basement at the time, so I was asking her, like, Mom, I know you came in this basement and took these drugs. So mind you, I got X, Y, Z. It was just
What's X? What kind of drug is that?
I had
some new stuff.
No. Yeah. Well, I don't want.
I never heard X, Y, Z.
Yeah, it was a few pills, some white. It was some stuff it wasn't just for my personal consumption. It was for me to make money as well. So I'm like, where everything goes? So the night before, I was looking out my window the whole night because I kept seeing police sirens and all that. And they was like right outside my door. So I'm looking through the basement joint. I'm like, I know they coming. My homie come knock he knock on the door. I put the gun underneath the couch.
Yeah.
So I left the door unlocked. So while he coming in, I'm sitting on the couch because I'm thinking he bringing somebody to. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I was at the highest level of paranoia you can possibly think of. So anyway, my mom like, John, I ain't touched nothing that belongs to you. So I'm like, Mom, I think you lying. The whole time, right, I flipped the whole basement over. Boom, boom, boom. Mom, you gonna get my stuff. I'm telling you, it's me and you today. If you don't get it, I'm telling you.
Oh, man.
She said, if you threaten me one more time, I'm gonna call the police. And she called my whole family, my brothers out there, everybody. Even my homies from the hood was out there protecting my mom because they knew I was on one of my rants.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Mom, I'm telling you, you got till 3 o'clock to get my stuff because I'm going to Pittsburgh.
And what time is it?
It was like 2:50. Yeah, it was like
10 minutes.
That's all. So anyway, like I go flip the whole basement over.
They can't see your lip gloss. Why you put lip gloss? They can't see you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you good.
Why is he in my business? I'm over here moisturizing my lips.
It's 2:55. What's happening?
No, so what happened is I go in the house, I make a phone call. I'm like, you gonna have to come get me to somebody I used to talk to. I'm like, you gonna have to come get me from my mom's house. It's over. I can't stay here no more. All my drugs is gone. I don't know where nothing at. I still gotta pay people. So next thing you know, I had to think. I'm like, yo, what happened? So I was thinking for about 25 minutes. So I had to remember, like, dang, where you rest your head at? Like, that was the closest thing, because if nobody can steal it, if you got to lift me up. And I haven't been asleep in like 2 days, so it's like, if that was a crash moment when I did go to sleep, it was underneath the pillow.
Wow.
So the whole time I was looking for the drugs, it was underneath the pillow. I argued with my mom. She had an open house for the home care. The home care she had an open house. I helped her with it. I helped her clean up and everything. But in the midst of all that, I wanted my drugs.
Wow.
So and then I wasn't high either. So, because I was trying to be sober and clean for this little event she had today. So I'm in the basement. Everybody's upstairs. They touring the house. And, that was one of my wildest moments because I say that because the way I got with my mother. It wasn't just about how I was acting with the paranoia. It was the disrespect towards my mother, where I gave her ultimatum to find it or get dealt with.
Oh, wow.
So I wasn't going to touch her, but I was like, I know you want to help me. So if you take my stuff, you could be helping and hurting.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's
Where
one
did
of
the
the
paranoia come from?
The ecstasy pills.
Gotcha.
Like, I was at the highest level of paranoia. Like, I mean, I was selling it. Like, you know, I was using it. So it was like, you know, like, basically, I just, you know, I was on an emotional roller coaster.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Still trying to be, like, clean. I really had it in my mind, like, I wanted to be clean. Like, I was still fighting. So, but the whole time I was isolating myself and closing myself out to people. And I was in the basement with the lights out. Boom. Like, my whole environment, my whole mindset was just to be by myself, loneliness, and, you know what I mean, enjoy my high by myself. But when I had to take the back seat to being high, if the smallest thing didn't go my way, it'll mess up the whole
thing.
The whole flow up.
Because it's about you trying to do it on our own.
Yeah.
Now, when God does it, He sets us free. He's like, you could do, you're powerless.
Right.
Wow, that's dope, man.
Right.
Thanks.
That was good.
Let's go to Jacqueline. Jacqueline,
One of my first times, I guess, I've ever really been high. I've only ever really smoked marijuana, but it's a funny one. This is a funny one. I said that it's funny just because I was so out of it that I didn't realize what was going on. But I took a dab. If you don't know what a dab is, it's literally just very much so concentrated THC.
Okay.
So it was my first time.
Why they call it a dab?
Because you literally, it's all you need is a dab.
No, seriously.
And your life.
Dab.
A little dab would do you.
A little dab would do you.
That's where that dance came from?
Yeah,
No, probably like
Somebody robbed the dab. They in the house. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. And I took a little bit bigger than a dab. And again, it was my first time.
Okay.
So I was just like, I smoke regular weed, so this ain't about to do nothing to me. I was wrong. I thought there was cheese in my arm.
You thought it was cheese in your arm?
I thought there was cheese. So let me tell you what happened.
Stinking or something? With a cheddar cheese?
No, I had a cheese pretzel. I done ate a cheese pretzel. But when I ate the cheese pretzel, you know how it's hot, so I felt the warmth go down. I felt it go into my arm. So, I was tripping. I was like, call the cops, like call the ambulance, because there was I was like, Britt, this is my sister, I said, there's cheese in my arm. Like, I was like, feel it. I feel the cheese. It's running all the way down to my arm. Like, I could feel it. I felt like my whole entire arm started getting.
Was running cheese.
It was running cheese. Okay. It was crazy. I was so out of it. And
what color was the cheese?
I don't know. It was inside of me. It was inside of my arm. It felt like.
Never tell the story again. Joseph, no, that's dope. Okay.
No, but from that day point on, I've never taken it again because
you thought your arm was a cheese pretzel.
I thought my arm was a
Philly cheese pretzel. Yeah.
It was a Philly cheese pretzel. It was bad. Yeah, I guess that would be my own personal craziest because I've never, a little bit about me, my mom, she did drugs, so I never really got into the drug scene. I've only ever smoked marijuana and took a dab, and it just really wasn't my thing because I seen what it did to her. Mm-hmm. So I kind of tried to veer off of it, but weed was just something that they always made it seem like it wasn't really a drug. You know what I mean? Everybody smokes weed. So drugs it's not like crack. It's not, cocaine, because to me, growing up in Kensington, those were considered like hardcore drugs along with pills and stuff like that. Yeah. So weed, it was just weed. It's a plant. That's, but not realizing that is, they say it's the gateway, but no, that truly is the gateway because it
to the dab.
Yeah, because I took it. I took a dab.
So I had one question though.
Yeah.
No seriousness. So your arm became like cheese. Did your fist become like a water ice? Your arm was a cheese pretzel. The other end get water ice.
He's referring to what Philly's known for. No, it didn't turn to no
Philly's
water
known
ice.
for cheese pretzels and water ice. And cheese
Yes.
So she had a whole Philly meal on her face. All right, that's dope. That's dope. Welcome y'all to the family reunion. This is the Church of Difference family.
Sure.
Crazy
I guess I'm
instruction
gonna
to
have
me.
to be.
Welcome to me to the show, y'all. Welcome to me to the
Hey
show.
y'all. So I turned 18, and I thought I was going to the strip club. I was going to Onyx.
Okay.
P&B Rock was performing.
Oh man.
It was about to be a situation, y'all. I was getting ready. I was pre-gaming, you know. I popped a pill, thinking I'm big baller. You feel what I'm saying? I just smoked a little weed. Y'all, I was drinking. This is how young I was. I was drinking Four Locos, okay?
Not before.
Four Loko.
I had the Four Loko
That's
mix.
like a still reserve.
But I used to drink those. I used to drink
Who
those.
didn't?
Four Loko, a pill, weed. Okay, I'm already tooted in.
What kind of pill was that? Was one of John's ecstasy pills he lost?
No, it was ecstasy. It was Xanax.
Gotcha.
Oh man.
And so they made me wait because it was on my actual birthday that they was having it, but I was
Okay.
17 when I pulled up. But
Got you. Come on.
come on. By the time I got there, they was like, hold
Around
on.
midnight.
Yeah, they was like, you gotta wait a couple
You high
minutes.
there.
Yeah. I'm high. Like, y'all gotta come on. I got the heels on my toes, was like shaking in the heels.
Wow.
I'm like, y'all gotta come on. I've never been to a strip club before, okay? So
Wow.
I go inside. It's dark. It's smoky. I'm high. I'm drunk. I'm everything. So we go close to the stage. Again, this is my first time ever going to a strip club. So I'm like,
Don't tell me
I
you
was
saw
not-
cheese too.
I didn't see cheese. But what I
Cheese
saw.
steaks.
What I saw, I was not ready for it, y'all. I was not ready. So I'm thinking, like, I start seeing stuff because I'm high.
I gotta know what you thought you saw.
No, I don't know. I don't quite remember everything that I thought I saw, but I thought I was seeing stuff. So
Like, give me
I'm
an example, because you're at a strip
like
club.
stuff in the smoke. Like I'm thinking of.
That happens.
You see spirits
I can't make this.
No,
I
Loch
can't
Neck
make this
Monsters.
up. I'm like, yo, is anybody else seeing this? So I'm with other people, but they're lit, but they're not lit like me because I didn't pregame. Like the weed and the pill was on me. I got with them. That's when we started drinking, and then it just.
So this was your first time taking the pill?
No, it wasn't my first time taking the pill, but it was my first time ever going to the strip club.
Okay.
While
So-
taking a pill.
While taking a
So
pill.
the
And
atmosphere.
exactly. The atmosphere does something. It heightens stuff up. So I'm in there, y'all. So we in a big group, and everybody's all hyped because they're at the stage. You know, P&B, right? He doing his thing, whatever. I'm like, I'm 18, whatever. stripping. Okay. Next thing I know, I start feeling woozy, y'all. It's hot. I start getting so...
That's exactly what
I
happened.
was so hot. I was like, oh my gosh, y'all, I don't feel good. I turned around, I start looking for my homegirls. I'm like, y'all, I don't feel good. I start trying to push people.
Meanwhile, they didn't strip their clothes off. They dancing.
Anxiety levels to the roof.
Yo, I'm in a huge group of people. It's smoky. I'm hot. I was singing. And then, you know, they had the dancers coming through the crowd, grabbing the money and stuff like that. I'm moving dancers out the way because I'm trying to book it to the bathroom because I'm like, I need to sit down or something. I don't feel right. Like,
Wow.
I passed out on the way to the bathroom.
In the club.
In the club. In the club.
That's how you got into the life.
My first time.
That's crazy.
My first time in a strip club, high,
Wow.
drunk. I
This
passed
next
out.
is gonna be the life of sex trafficking.
What?
Anyway,
I got a question.
That's what happens
I
here.
do got a question because to me it said that she was 18, but that wasn't her first pill popped.
No.
And
How do you know?
Because she
She's my
said
best
it, and I'm
Okay.
her best friend. What? And you said that you were getting a lot of anxiety and stuff like that, and you were, you know, feeling away. So when was the first time that you both introduced yourselves to the pill life, if that makes sense?
I was 14.
Yeah.
Wow.
14?
15.
And what made you want to try it?
No, like, matter of fact, man, I started the biggest riot in Simon Gratz history when I first took a Xanax. I took 8 of them.
Oh,
they wasn't
Your
working.
He
first
said
time.
I'm going in deep.
Out the
Like-
gate.
They wasn't working. You know, you gotta take a little time. So
Yeah.
I'm on my way
Oh,
to
so
school.
like when you take shots, it's not working. Next thing you know, you ate
Yeah,
deep.
no,
Yep.
man.
Now you can't see
I was
something.
on my way to school, man. You know, I was a basketball player, so I was on my way to school, man, and it's cold. So, you know, hot cocoa's, a little weed, you know, we walked to Simon Gratz. So, next thing you know, my homie like, yo, I'll never forget his name, Don. He like, yo, man, I got these pills, man. Come on, we all gonna take one. It make you feel good. I took one last night, man. Yo, I'm like, all right, bet. Man, I took one, John. He's like, take it with the hot cocoa. It worked better. So I take it, bam. Man, we smoke some weed, we walking. So this happens at 11th and Warnock. By the time I get to 13th and Venango, we inside the joint. It's cold. It's like 20 degrees outside. We in the cubby hole smoking on our way to grass. By the time I get to Broad and Erie, that's when stuff started getting a little. But I'm still, now mind you, I'm 8 deep. It's like 1. So then it was like 2. So then I'm like, man, he's not working. Give me more. So like, yeah, 3. So then I'm like, man, give me 2, because I don't know what you're giving me the whole time. By the time I get to Broad and Erie, matter of fact, I'm 6 in. By the time I get to Broad and Erie, I get 2 more inside the hack. Because now it's so cool, we need, now we inside the car. So now it's, give me 2 more. Bam, by the time I get to Simon Gratz, I'm 8 pills in. I got a tea in my hand. I don't even think that was my tea because I had a hot cocoa. So I got a tea in my hand.
How to get this tea?
So next thing you know, bam, I go in. They say, Mr. Scarborough, take your coat off, slide it through the metal detector, all that, boop, bop, bop. Man, I go in there, slide my stuff through. So now I'm on my way to class.
Yeah.
Boom. Next thing you know, now it's like it was like I was there, but I wasn't there. It was like life was like a movie. I felt animated. So next thing you know, like no real rap. So look. Next thing you know, we go to the class. Somebody gambling. So my man, I don't gamble. So
it's gotta be a movie.
Yeah, no, it's real. Yeah. So look, my homie, he gambling in the bathroom. I give him some money like towards his because he ain't had none. So he was in the bathroom. So I'm take this. I forget how much it was. Doesn't matter. Take this. Boom. Next thing you know, so he wins. Mm. So the opposing team from 18th for Ontario called the Ocho. Yeah. They were like, yo, man, like I ain't just gonna clean us out like that and go to class. Yeah. Man, so he wins or whatever. So I'm on my way to class. Now, mind you, I'm lingering in the hallway. I got a one-piece dickie on. I got a hoodie on underneath it, some jeans and some boots. Now, mind you, this is how hot I am. That's why I'm like, you know, when you're on the pills, you get hot. Mm-hmm. So I'm walking. The school had metal heaters, them iron heaters. So, you know, they banging. Yeah. Man, by the time I get to the 4th floor, I'm walking. He stood up the top of the joint, spit on my dickie. Boom. Ooh. So I'm like, man, it's on now. So I'm like, you know, we have our words. He's like, man, we can see you at the school. I said, no, you can see me now. So I went to go get my homies. I went to everybody class. Now, mind you, we went to school.
Special. Man. You go to everybody class and ran everybody up. It's about to go down.
No, it really did. Because after I couldn't even fight, I went to fight the ball. And next thing you know, I don't remember nothing. All I know is I woke up handcuffed to a chair, a wheelchair. My mom was in the principal's office down the basement. They done found the crack in my dickie from hustling. Mind you, I'm 15. Okay. So they found the crack in my dickie from hustling. They found money. They found a little marijuana. So the whole time, you know, I get the story back now. After everything got kind of cleared up, I left. I came back. When I came back, I didn't know that my homies done took it to the next level, and they up and down Germantown Avenue. So every hood from Park Avenue, from Nicetown, from Erie Avenue, from the Ocho, we had 4 neighborhoods all fighting and feuding, and it started from Simon Gratz, all from me and another person. He got murdered. So not after that, but years later down the line, you know. So I ain't gonna disclose his name, but. You know, like I started that just from going to get every last homie of mine from Erie Avenue to go handle this situation, and I got kicked out of school and expelled.
And I started with 8 Xanax.
It started to school. 8 Xanax. I never knew that 8 Xanax. And then I couldn't even get inside my mom's car. I was spaghetti string. So everything I did, my mom had to hold me up. So I'm getting inside the car like this. I knocked my foot against the panel on the car. So, you know, it's kind of like plastic. So when you do that, it pops open.
Yeah.
So my mom's car was destroyed from just trying to get
Just
me
trying to
in.
get you in there. So days of you doing dabs. What's been the best moment in life since then?
I got a dab story too.
Honestly, I think the best moment, it has to be when I get angry or when I want to be alone. I no longer run to weed because, like I said, it was only weed that I've ever done. But I no longer run to weed because there was times, throughout the day I was smoking like 8-9 times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a lot now that I think about it. But now it's like when I'm angry, I pray or I put on some worship music or something like that. I no longer, especially like, because if you got kids, they be testing those buttons that you didn't know you could test. And with them, it's no more kind of excluding myself from them. I know that sounds crazy, but it's a very real thing sometimes that happens. And it's now like, okay, I'm going to just put on this worship music and I'm going to just sing my heart out and it always feels better. And then like, I'm gonna make it super quick, but like 2 days ago, I had a worship song, and I forget what song it was that I was playing, but I was dancing in my living room, and my son Zane, he literally comes over and starts dancing with me, and we're there holding hands, just dancing and singing together, and I just felt so much peace, and I was just like, these are the moments that I wanted to make, and if it was not for God and for God delivering me from needing weed, because people say like they don't need weed. No, I generally think that I needed it because it made me quote unquote feel better. Now it's like that's no longer a thing. It's like worshiping and dancing and just really embracing my kids. I think that's been my best moment since.
Wow. So thank you so much. Awesome conversation about just our stories growing up, funny, sad, serious, real, life-threatening, life-changing. But now we want to hear what's been the biggest moment in your life since then? John from Heavy as the Head That Wears the Crown.
When I was able to wake up in the morning and realize that I can work out and not use drugs. Mm-hmm. Like usually my workout was lifting a pill in my mouth, rolling a blunt, and starting my day off like that. But when I was able to start my day off by going to a program, start my day off by starting it off with seeing you in the morning, then going to my NA program afterwards, I realized that my life was turning for the better. So as I realized that, drugs, that was a phase of my life, whether it was times where I felt like, that's what I would be doing for the rest of my life. But then I realized that it was more to life afterwards once I began to ask God for the power to heal me and to give me the strength not to pick up another pill and put it in my mouth anymore. So going to programs and just meeting you and just starting my new journey, that like it's a lot more. My children, all this stuff, it's a lot more. But getting my life in order was the best part of knowing that I can be able to be productive
without having that monkey on your back. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, man.
Yeah.